She wasn't the prettiest woman in the cafe. She wasn't the youngest, the loudest, or the most dressed up, but she was the one you couldn't stop watching. The dangerous kind of beautiful, the kind you feel before you see. Cold air trailing in with her. Something in the room changed. It wasn't perfume, though there was a trace of something warm and hard to name. It wasn't clothes, muted colors, a jacket you couldn't place in a season or a trend. It was the way she carried the air around her, like she'd already decided how the room would remember her. Before you noticed her face, you noticed her stillness. Her back was straight without stiffness, chin level, not tilted high enough to be arrogance, not low enough to hide. When she looked somewhere, she looked. No scanning, no searching for approval. A man by the window glanced up from his phone, caught her eyes for half a second, and forgot whatever he'd been typing. That was the first thing, confidence that arrived before anything else, the kind you can't fake in a mirror. She didn't rush to greet anyone, didn't scan for a free table. She moved like time worked differently for her. You could feel the rules bending. You wanted to walk toward her, but something made you hold back. She was there, but not yours to have. Even the way she waited in line. She left just enough space for people to want to close it. That's when you understood she wasn't clinging to the moment. She was letting it chase her. Up close, the details were minimal, but deliberate. A thin gold chain against warm skin. A jacket with a cut that suggested its owner cared about how clothes feel, not just how they look. Hair not overly styled, but shaped in a way that framed her face like it belonged in a painting. The muted palette only made you look longer, trying to read her like a page with half the ink missing. And then there was the scent. Subtle, not sweet, not sharp, the kind that makes strangers lean in just a little too far. When the barista asked for her order, she didn't over-explain or rush. Her voice had weight, calm, a touch lower than you expected, with that easy pace that makes people listen harder. She smiled, but it wasn't the smile you give to keep things polite. It was the smile you give when you're entirely at ease, with yourself, with the moment, with the fact that people are drawn in, whether they mean to be or not. She didn't compete with the room's energy, she adjusted it. And just like that, the cafe's pace slowed to match hers. She claimed a corner table, near enough to feel part of the room, but angled just enough to observe. A glance here, a subtle lean there. She barely spoke, but when she did, her words landed with precision, short, deliberate, carrying pauses like they were part of the sentence. Even silence seemed to work for her, as if each pause was a dare. Will you bridge it, or will you sit in it with me? Most people overtalk. She didn't. It made you think maybe she knew the story you were telling yourself about her and was letting you write it. Her phone buzzed. She glanced, smiled faintly, put it face down, and went back to stirring her coffee. No checking, no typing back immediately, no performing availability for anyone's benefit. Her presence said, "I came here for me. If you're here too, that's nice, but I'm leaving with or without you." When someone like that leaves, the space they take with them feels bigger than the space they occupy. Two men by the counter started speaking louder, like moths circling a light. She didn't flinch toward their volume. She folded her scarf with deliberate slowness, stood, adjusted her bag. The motion drew eyes without trying, the same way flames draw oxygen. She stepped toward the door, coffee cup balanced lightly in one hand. Someone shifted like they might follow, but she never looked back. The door chimed shut, and for a beat, the cafe felt quieter than it should. You could almost hear the thought ripple through the room, who was she? And that was the wrong kind of beautiful. The kind you don't just see, the kind you remember against your will.